What's happening, Fit Expo? Hope you're enjoying Pandemic Days Online. We're offering some online jiu-jitsu stuff. The first one is on stance, simple, efficient, and basic.
You can check out our Combat Base Club membership options at combatbase.com.
BAM! And welcome to Combat Base. Think street, train sport, practice art. I'm Chris Haueter.
And I'm Melissa Haueter. Welcome to the Combat Base Club.
Your basic combat stance should feel as natural as it possibly can. Let's go over what is possibly the worst possible stance you could have. Let's stand with our feet wide apart, which pushes your butt out, puts your hips in a weird place, makes you have to bend over. You bend at the knees because you don't want to fall. You reach your hands out to protect yourself and or grab. But this more awkward, unnatural way of stance happens to actually be what happens as we modify the stance into our sport grappling stance, which is great in sport grappling. But what we want to have is feel where that is off balance. Feel how we make it more balanced. And what we want to do now is have, and as a learning tool, we parallel our feet and we feel our independent hips. We feel our pelvis, our knee bend. We slide one leg slightly up, raise our rear heel off of the deck, almost like a sprinter stance. But I'm feeling my hips in as if I'm shoveling dirt. I'm using my hips and my knees but to gain the motion. Not my arms grabbing, but my hips and my legs. My arms are extensions of my hips. I want to relax, have that loose feel. My neck is loose, my arms are loose, and I imagine I have a ball dribbling and I reach up and I hold my basketball. And I want to have the most upright possible stance that I can have with an awareness of low line attacks in which I change level.
Okay, so to review. Parallel feet, relax hips, tilt pelvis, slide one leg up, raise rear heel. And once again, parallel feet, relax hips, tilt pelvis, slide one leg up, raise rear heel.
All right, so we're here in our general stance. We have the high range of attacks over here, our strikes, our grips, our grabs. We have middle range right in here, our blast, our mid-range attacks, and we have our low line attacks. Our low line attacks down here. We want to feel protected from all of those. And because of our fears, we usually start to bend down, worried about our low line attacks, especially when we remove strikes. But we want to counter those by having an upright stance. You want to feel like when your opponent wants a low line attack on your leg, all you're doing is bending down and adjusting in that attack. So as we're moving around, if I feel a shot coming, I'm adjusting and just dropping my arms to meet that shot, connect with my opponent, and counter. So as a drill, I'm in here, I'm going to shoot on her. And she feels and she changes her levels on that. And I'm going to try to slap her leg, and her only thing she must counter is me touching her leg. I'm only allowed to touch from the knee below. Now you avoid bending over, because remember that upward attack is ever present. But watch that leg. Watch that leg, because I'm going to get a hold of that leg. And she's going to change the level to react and block those shots. And if she must, she connects onto me and feels that shot. Now we switch it over. I'm going to go. All she's got to do is slap that leg, and I will not allow it. I'm mostly hands, head, and hips. By working on that head as it comes, I'm going to connect on that head as it comes down or engage in my own clinch action.
Okay, so for our 3 levels of base, we have the standing base, we have the combat base, and we have 2 knees down. So I like to be able to transition between the 3, but before I transition between the 3, I need to have an idea of where I should be in each range. So I'll just start with the 2 knees down here. We don't want to have our knees too close together. We don't want to have them too far apart where we're stretching out our groin and falling forward. Instead, we want to have them, about shoulder width apart. We want a nice pelvic tilt and sit down so our abs are rock hard. We can take body shots. We're here with our elbows in. From here, we can transition into the combat base. Again, in combat base, we don't want to be upright and tall, though we may be here in transition. And we don't want to be leaning too far back, where we could get pushed back into our guard. And we don't want to be leaning too far forward, where we're off base and someone can yank us forward and we fall on our face. We want to find that nice middle ground, and a lot of times we want to keep this knee in between our arms because this knee can help block submissions here. We're going to keep our elbows in. We always want to avoid elbow drift where our arms can be pulled, and avoid, again, leaning forward where we can be pulled into chokes and other things. So we're keeping our elbows in here. I'm down on my back foot in this position, or you can curl your toe under. But I feel like I can get a better base when I sit a little bit of weight on that back heel, and I'm here. Now, when I'm transitioning into standing, I want to curl that toe under and push off of my back toe into the standing position that we went over earlier with Chris. So, for a drill, I like to practice transitioning from the standing position to the combat base and to 2 knees down. I might choose to switch sides and come up combat base on the other side and up to standing. Back down, 2 knees down, other side, and back up. Then I might do some repetitions of that and then do some practice just going down up from standing to combat base. So down and up, down and up, down and up. I might switch leads then, do the other side. And you can do, 10 reps or so on each side, and then add in the transition to 2 knees down and switching sides, making sure that you pause in each spot to feel that base, feel where you're rocking in the right position, not too far backward or too far forward. We hope you liked this video. Please click on other videos for additional techniques.
Think street, train sport, practice art.